excellent day for an exorcism.
Welcome to Just Another Horror Podcast.
I'm John.
Fuck capitalism!
I'm Lindsay, trying to write horror novels because I was a weird kid.
The whole world is a urinal.
Fuck the prime time, bitch!
Hello! Welcome to Just Another Horror Podcast. I'm John.
I'm Lindsay.
I'm M.
And this is the movie Pure, which is part of Into the Dark, which I've never seen any of these or heard of it.
Me neither.
The Into the Dark series on Hulu.
Right.
I didn't know it was part of a series when I picked it.
Uh-huh.
But
it's like on its own, because I think it's an anthology series, so like every episode's a totally different thing.
Stands on its own. Okay.
Are there any anthology series that you guys like that are horror?
I mean, I personally like American Horror Story. Not all of them, but I do like some of them.
They're all their own thing?
Well, each season is, not each
season.
episode.
Okay.
I think it was the last season they split it into two different things, so like the first few episodes were one thing, and then the next few episodes were another storyline too. Oh, and I definitely like Black Mirror, and I like the Twilight Zone.
Black Mirror rules. Channel Zero.
It's called Channel Zero?
That's the series.
Okay.
There's 4 of them. There's Candle Cove, The No End House, Butcher's Block, and The Dream Door. So all 4 of those, very good.
Oh, I watched a movie this week.
Talk about it.
What'd you watch?
It's called The Love Witch.
I love The Love Witch. Did you
Have
like
you seen it?
Because I know it's weird. It's not for everyone. Like, I made my mom watch it like a year or 2 ago, and she's like, I feel like I just wasted all this time. I'm like, Mom, it's so good. Like, I love it. It's so weird and quirky.
Well, yeah, because they made it in 2016, but it's very
60s, like
Technicolor.
But not totally. It's like there's mixed in with it. Like,
yeah.
I feel like it's its own world, sort of. You know,
Yes.
It's not really supposed to be the 60s, and it's not supposed to be modern time. It's just like this whole other
in between thing.
Yeah.
I did like it.
I watched the new...
Sometimes it's hard to fit these movies in.
Yeah, exactly. I watched the new Halloween, and I've talked about it 30 times already, so... high recommend from me, that's all.
Yeah, I definitely plan to watch that soon.
Yeah. Don't listen to people, they're wrong. They're wrong about this movie. It is good. Okay. Ah, shit. There we go. This movie happens to tie into the other movie that we're also reviewing. They're both about purity.
Yeah.
Chastity.
Bullshit. We should have watched Robin Hood Men in Tights, too, while we were in. I get that joke.
Oh, that's right, because she has the thing on. Yeah.
I remember seeing that as a kid and being utterly confused at what the hell I was looking at.
Of course.
Some things I don't think I should have been shown when I was like 7 years old, but okay.
I watched all sort of stuff when I was little I shouldn't have watched, I'm sure.
Yes.
Did anybody
Me too.
explain these things to you?
Oh, no.
Or no, good luck with that information.
I've told you how many times my dad was taking me to James Bond movies when I was 9, 10 years old.
Yeah.
And
I was
just
watching
like,
horror
why?
movies when I was like 6, 7.
Oh, yeah.
I remember being like this little kid watching Married with Children with my dad all the time.
Yes!
Ew.
A group of teenage girls at a purity retreat perform a secret ritual, and one of the girls sees a supernatural entity.
Okay.
Alright.
Good enough.
The main character is Shay
Shay?
or Joe? Which one?
You're not sure at the beginning, but I feel like it ends up being Shay.
That's what I think too.
Yeah.
So that's this guy's first daughter. Right?
Yeah, but she didn't know about him. He knew about her, but he pretended that he didn't really until then.
She didn't think he knew about
Right,
her
she thought he
until
didn't know
recently.
until...
So it's Joe and her father,
Mm-hmm.
and then Shay is coming with them to the retreat, and she is as far as we know, a newly discovered daughter that is the same age as Joe.
Right.
Which means that Daddy was fucking 2 people at
Yeah.
the same time and had 2 babies within a few months.
The hypocrisy in this
Oh my
movie
gosh,
is
yeah.
right off the bat, immediately. Because remember, this is a father-daughter purity retreat so that the daughters
so
keep
creepy.
pure. The dads are basic. What I told her was that the dads are basically like, I want to fuck my daughter, but society doesn't like that, so I'll make sure only one man ever fucks her. Wish it was me.
It's actually a big thing, like in the fundamentalist Christianity community. It really is a thing. It's not always like a retreat, but I've seen lots of things where like the dad will take the daughter out to dinner and give her a purity ring. And,
it's so weird.
It's very incestual, but with, under the guise of being religious and pure. Right. It's pretty
And of course
sick.
it's only for the daughters, not any sons, because it doesn't matter.
Sons can't help themselves.
Right.
Fucking, ugh.
And then it was basically, it looked like they were having an engagement photo shoot. Like
they're all up on each other and shit.
So gross.
Yeah, they all look like wedding photos on that wall. Yeah.
So weird.
The scariest part about this movie is that this shit's real.
And definitely. Both of these movies we watched, like, the scary part wasn't, like, what you would think would be the scary part.
Right.
The scary part are the real-life things that can happen and, like, gross men.
The difference between Teeth and this, though, is that this one makes lazy attempts at being scary. And that bothered me.
Yeah.
They have jump scares with Lilith, where you're like, wait, isn't Lilith, like, good in the context of this story?
Because Lilith really isn't scary. Like, they think she's a little scary at first because, I mean, who wouldn't be scared if you're seeing a supernatural entity? But, I mean...
They're jump scares, though, with her. She'll show up and it'll go, brah! I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate that so much. Don't do that. Mm-hmm. This material alone could have made a horrifying movie.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like this was not a good movie. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but I feel like this movie stunk.
It felt very TV movie-ish, which is basically what it was.
Well, that's what it is, yeah.
Yeah, and the music was very bad.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was like modern...
It was like pop, but at the same time it was like written very specifically, it felt like, for this exact movie.
Right.
I mean, you might as well, the lyrics might as well have been like, going
from
with
the
my
room.
daddy to a purity retreat.
Right, yeah.
It sounded like something from The Room, that soundtrack. That's what it sounded like.
Oh, okay,
like, just anything that's free, public domain, throw it in there.
Yeah.
So, Pastor Seth is... maybe the creepiest of all of them.
He's very creepy.
It's close. I mean, their dad is pretty bad, but Seth is up there.
I mean, they're all, like, all of the men. But just the fact that they're there, they're creepy.
Everything the men say from minute one to the end made me more and more uncomfortable.
Oh, definitely.
They never said anything normal. They weren't even like, I'd like a sandwich. I think I'll go eat something.
No, it was all just...
Everything was creepy.
Yeah.
Because it's all about... It's just a control thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's all about the patriarchy.
Girls learn very young that men either want you to be good and pure and abstain, or they want to fuck you. Those are the two. That's who you have in your life. Those two extremes.
And it's like it doesn't matter what the girl herself wants.
I was about to say that. I was going to say that and then plug The Rock.
Oh, what is The Rock?
It doesn't matter what you want.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Oh, I hated the gum analogy. That was disgusting.
Oh, and Pastor Seth was in the series Heart of Dixie.
Never saw it.
He was like a very good guy.
Oh, complete opposite here.
Yeah, very opposite.
I don't think I had ever seen any of these people in movies. I know Shay, she was more famous for being a YouTuber. She did kind of like parody videos, like comedy stuff. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought she did a good job at the end.
Yeah.
The scene, like kind of like the final scene.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
And I was waiting for it for a really long time, remember? I kept being like, are they going to get him or what? I was really worried that they were just going to leave the next day after the purity camp was over and nothing happens. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, I'm glad that happened.
I think it could have been a little more extreme.
Me too. They ran out of time. There was like 5 minutes left in the movie and they're like, we got to kill these guys.
Yeah.
They talk about Lilith, who is a character in the Bible who, oh no, she had sex. Oh.
With an angel.
Damn, that's badass.
Right?
I think God got jealous, is what happened.
And I mean, like, some people think that she didn't even do that Adam just got jealous that she was equal to him and made up a story about her that she did that, and then she was sent to hell because of that.
Men wouldn't do that.
Oh, no, of course not.
So, but she's not at the beginning of the Bible. Is she in Genesis? Or is it
there was
something
like
that they
Genesis
go back?
1 and Genesis 2.
It's cut out.
It was, and I don't think that they really talk about her in Christianity, right? I think it might be in Judaism and some other stuff, but I don't think they actually mention her in Christianity.
Interesting.
But she was in there at one point. Like,
and then they took it out.
Took it out.
Yeah.
Like they like to do.
Censorship.
Just King James. He's like, I don't like this story. That's probably what it was. He's like, fuck this story. Get it out of here. But that's what really happened. Yeah. Religion. Whatever. Shut up. Put my name on the front of the book, would you? Hypocrisy? Yeah, you got your word that you made up?
Yeah, my word that I thought of a word, and I was like, oh, that could be a joke. So I was trying to come up with like a way to phrase a question to make the word the punchline. So it was kind of like, what's somebody who doesn't do what they say and also has the hiccups?
Hiccup crit or something?
Yes! Hiccup-crit. I laughed for like half an hour after I thought of this word. Hiccup-crit. I don't know why I even thought of it.
And we're both sitting on the couch like, hypocrite, hiccup.
Yeah, back and forth for like 15 minutes.
Pastor Seth talks about Lilith and explains that Eve was better because she was made out of Adam's rib and didn't go fucking angels or whatever.
Because only women matter if they came from a man.
Right.
Ugh, sorry.
Well, not came from a man, because women don't do that. That's a myth.
Oh. I get it.
Thank you. What did I say when we were watching Teeth today? Vaginas are terrifying. They're a mystery.
And I just gave you a dirty look.
Yeah. So they decide they're going to do a ritual to bring Lilith into the world, which is awesome, because witchcraft.
Woo!
Yeah. And these 3 dudes show up.
They had met them another year, right?
Keep them in the back.
Yeah. And then, of course, the preacher's daughter.
Lacey.
Yeah, Lacey.
Mm-hmm.
She is very into all this, but I think it's more because of, like, how much her father has put it on her, and, like, he makes it such a big deal, and, like, she is so afraid that, like, she's gonna, if she ever kisses a boy even, she's gonna be, like, ruined for her future
She calls
husband.
herself trash at the end, and that
poor girl.
broke
I
my
just
goddamn
feel
heart,
really
man.
sad. And then she's like, kissing is wrong. I'm waiting till marriage. It's like kissing somebody else's husband. It's gross. Like,
Yeah.
wow.
That's the amount of pressure that's put on these kids.
Yeah, it's terrible.
These guys don't care about that at all.
No.
And I don't even think they care about purity. They just
want to control
they
their
want
daughters.
control. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only way that this will work is if somebody isn't a virgin. But they all claim that they are, so nobody thinks it actually worked. Shay's not the virgin, okay. Because I remember guessing.
Said she was, but
I remember guessing throughout it and thinking that maybe secretly it was Lacey and we just didn't know or
That'd
something
be
like that.
interesting, yeah.
So that was a cool little part of it. I don't know if they did that on purpose. Maybe it was just bad script writing, but it had me guessing.
Right,
so,
yeah.
Shay is trying, and also Joe is trying to like kind of convince everybody to just control their own bodies and, and that they need to not do this kind of shit. Lacey's pushing back hard because it's her dad, right? And then there's the 4th girl who's kind of religious, but I don't think buys into the purity shit.
yeah, but she's on the pill, and I guess that her dad was probably raping her, and that's why she's on the pill.
Horrible. I could see that though. Yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense.
That was the first, like they're. This is the situation. They're at this thing where the dad is trying to control what she's doing, but she's on the pill. So who's she having sex with?
Right.
And there were mothers who weren't allowed that actually wanted to go to
Yeah,
this,
it
which
was
tells
so
me they
weird.
need to keep the women out,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm. And then what was happening when they would take the girls away individually? Well, into the box. Like,
There was
they would just
never-
have them pray
there was
in
never-
there? Or, like, what was really happening?
There was never any concrete proof that the box existed, but at some point, I think it's Shay that has to go away because she had sex, and she said, I had to pray. That's what she says.
Well, but they take the girls in to like meet with the pastor
Right,
and
yeah.
the dad or whatever, and they always come out looking
Distraught as
Yeah.
right.
fuck. Mm-hmm.
That wasn't like going in the box, or that was just like a sit down with the pastor or whatever.
Yeah.
Is he fucking everybody?
Who
No
knows?
idea. I wonder if they're physically examining them to see
Yeah,
if they're still
that too.
virgins.
That's who said that? Joe? Was she the one that said that the one time? Like, oh, maybe he's checking their hymens.
Oh, that's right. She
You
did.
know?
Yes. I mean, my mind just goes to the absolute worst.
Yeah, and I mean,
It's hard not to with this.
right.
Because, like, a sane person with good motives isn't going to do this to anybody.
Right.
Is it Shay or Joe that goes to the lake with the one boy?
Shay.
Shay goes to the lake with him.
Joe gets caught having sex with her boyfriend Jack.
Or it happens after they go to the
Right.
lake.
And Shay goes to the lake with
I don't have his name.
I had his name here. Kyle?
Gabe.
Kyle is the dad.
Oh, right, that's right.
Ryan hooked up with Lacey. I want to say it's Gabe.
Yeah,
That
that
sounds
works.
right.
Jack's cousin Gabe.
Yeah. Jack likes Shay, so Gabe would like Joe. Because Jack's the one that has sex with Shay.
No, Jack's the one that has sex with Joe. Jack is Joe's boyfriend.
Oh my god.
And she doesn't end up
Joe?
having sex with anyone. She
No.
almost does. I
They
mean,
kinda
sort of.
kiss
Like
and
well, he
they're-
was
yeah.
trying. I mean,
I'm
because,
getting my characters mixed up.
Remember
that's why.
when, like, there was banging at the doors and everything, and he opens the door, and he's like, I'm trying to get laid here. And then she
Right.
realizes what's happening, and she's like, yeah.
Yeah, you can leave.
That's why. I got them mixed up. Shay is Joe. Joe is Shay, John. Got it.
Oh, that's why.
Got it.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Joe is the blonde, Shay is the stepdaughter.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Shay catches Joe having sex, but doesn't say anything.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Joe, like, assumes it was her that
Right.
told, but it was not.
Right.
So,
And how did they know?
we can't get there
We'll
yet.
get there later.
Is this around the time that they break in and they take Joe away?
It was around there,
That was-
yeah.
that was
Because
like-
it was right the morning after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And nobody knows where she is for the longest time.
I feel like they assume she's in the box, though.
Right. Shay goes looking for her
Right.
and goes into the pastor's office, and the room they think is the box is just a closet.
Yeah.
There's nothing in there.
Maybe there's a false door or something.
I think
But is the box the cage thing that they roll out at the end?
See, that's what I thought. Like, when it showed that cage, I'm like, that must be the box,
Right.
I would assume.
oh, yeah, you're probably right. Oh, fuck. This place
one-
sucks.
This one's the greatest movie. Or maybe I just don't remember
It's not put
order.
together very well.
Yeah, it wasn't like a fantastic movie, but it had its
Yeah.
This is like the blueprint for somebody who's more competent to take this and turn it
Right.
into something better.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like they could have made Lilith a lot more interesting than they did.
Yes, instead of just like little
still liked-
flashes here and there.
I liked her at the
Oh,
end.
yeah, definitely.
But
Me too. That was
up
the best
until
part.
then, they didn't know what to do with her.
No.
They're just like, make her so that she's like showing up but not.
Right, yeah.
Come on. I'm sure they didn't have a big budget either, though. So.
But like, really, it
Right.
wasn't scary. It was like, yeah,
No.
I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, get her in
Everyone,
there. You know what I
everyone
mean?
who's watching this, other than people who are like, "This retreat is awesome," everyone else is like, "Come on, Lilith, let's go."
Right, yeah.
I just don't think they knew what they were doing with this. The purity ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
They all go to the purity ball, which is dancing with their dads.
And that's where they're supposed to sign the purity contract.
Yeah.
Right. Shay does not sign the contract.
Right. At the last
because-
second, she says no.
Yeah. And finds out that Kyle knew about her the entire time.
Yep.
That's what Joe tells
Joe
her.
told-
And actually got in fights about not supporting her at all until the mom
Right.
finally died. So, fuck this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you said at the beginning, not only is he like this with this daughter that he has, but he also is like, you can't have sex with more than one person, even though that's how you got made.
Right? He is so hypocritical.
Ugh, piece of shit. And they call him,
And
they
then
call
he
him
even
out on
says
this
something
stuff.
to Shay about, like, you don't want to end up like your mother. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh, you mean my mother that you impregnated? Like,
Right.
it was all her fault?
He said something like, and I thought to myself, okay, so the only people he has sex with are people who are ashamed or bad people. That's what he's looking for. What does that make him?
Yeah.
But he doesn't have the ability to self-reflect. So I'm glad he's dead.
Yeah. And at first, Shay thinks he's great and he's trying to do the right thing. He just found out about her, but
Yeah.
not so.
Which is like the story that's constantly popping up in the news about the pastors that are having affairs and abusing children and while preaching,
Right?
anyway.
Herschel Walker is running on an anti-abortion stance, and he's paid himself for 2 abortions. Piece of shit.
Kudos to him for paying for them. Great.
Yeah.
Well, the
this is
second
that.
one, the woman said no, so he just cut her off. And now she's like, "Here's the receipt from when you did pay for this one." He's like, "That's not me. That is you. Your name's right there. You paid for it." the people who are anti-abortion are literally like, it's not that big a deal. It's just one abortion. And, like, his opponent's trying to make it so that we have to pay for every abortion ever. So I would rather vote for him. They're literally, they get told, he's a hypocrite. And they go, I don't care.
Right.
We need control of the Senate. I don't give a shit. The stuff that we're saying is fake. We don't believe in it. Vote for us.
Right.
And everybody's like, okay.
Because the thing is, like, I'm not shaming him for paying for an abortion or for
that's not the
having
point.
An abortion or anything like that. The point is that he wants to keep everybody else in the country from being able to have abortions.
Right. Which, again, it won't affect rich people.
Exactly.
Yes.
So everyone, all the girls decide they're gonna, one by one, like, grab the microphone and tell these fuckers off, which is awesome. But poor Lacey, she kissed a guy and she's just a fucking mess.
I feel so bad for that girl.
You can tell from the second that she, like, is done. She's just, and you predicted it. She's gonna kill herself.
I saw, as soon as she knew that somebody had seen her kissing the boy, and her reaction to that, just like, she's gonna commit suicide.
Yeah. I thought she was gonna take all the pills, and I think she did, but it didn't do anything. She took a whole bunch of pills.
She took the pills. I think that kind of loosened her up enough that she was then able to, and then, like, she saw the gun, right? It was,
they kept
the
showing
pastor's
the gun. And I thought, what's going to happen with the gun? And not what I expected, but right. I don't see it necessary to show it throughout the movie. Like, I don't know. This movie's... But everybody gets up and talks about how they're, like, making their own decisions, and they should be able to pick their own decisions when it comes to sexuality, and they're all correct, and they're all right, but the men are just standing there like, what are you even talking about? I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's when Lacey kills herself. Somebody gets put in a cage. I think it's Shay gets put in a cage. Right. And that's when she just lets Lilith take over. Yeah. Completely. So she's completely possessed.
Like, first, Lacey's dad is, like, talking up his daughter about how great she is, that she's been so pure and everything. And then she's like, can I say something?
No, we don't have time.
No, there's no time, sorry. She can't even, like, speak.
And that's, like, the nail in the coffin. Like, you can't even talk.
Yep.
Ugh. I'm so glad that Lilith comes and gives a great speech about she's tired of this shit, basically.
I know she was like, you think that you're better than us, you're not better than us. And
I've waited a long time for this. I'm tired of women being treated this way and shit like that. I loved it. I was like, this is what this movie should be. And then she just, like, makes them all hit their heads off the ground, and I can't remember how she kills them.
Was it her that said one man's demon is another woman's angel?
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah. Yeah, but I like how she gets control over them, has them banging their heads there, and then lifts them all up.
See, I didn't want them to die because they don't learn anything.
Right, yeah. That is so true.
Apparently my only thought during all of this was that Lilith makes me want Wendy's.
Were you hungry? She has red hair!
There was like a picture of her and I was like, whoa, Wendy's. But the rest sounds really good too, I just don't remember it.
Yeah. Go, fine, where's the chicken sandwiches at? So they kill all the men and then they walk into a field together and it's kind of anticlimactic, unfortunately.
Yeah. Actually, I read on the one synopsis it said that Lilith was leading them through the field. I didn't actually catch that, but that's what it said.
The girls' bodies are shown huddled on the floor. A scene shows them walking away to the woods led by Lilith. They look like they were going somewhere. I'm hoping they're going to recruit more women.
Yeah. And
you guys can finally fucking take over.
Going back to their moms to be like, they're gone!
Yeah, they're all like, oh, thank you. Oh, no, poor dad. All right, anyway. All right, so that's Pure. Before we give our scores, I read a little bit of this Into the Dark review of, like, other ones in here, and they're all like this. They all have these, like, really good ideas that are executed like shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't know if I would say executed like shit, but just
not filled up to their potential.
Right, yeah. Because I think it really did have potential.
There is a ton in here. Yeah. But it's your movie, so go ahead.
Oh, my movie?
Mm-hmm.
I'll give it a 3.
Mm-hmm. No, that's lower than I thought, that's all.
Lower than...
I thought you were going to give it, that's all.
I mean, it's got a few points, like, for the premise, the idea, for the girls sticking up for themselves and that kind of stuff, but just, like, I wanted more from the ending. It was a little bit anticlimactic. I mean, like, you figure they're going to do something to the dads or whatever, but It just seemed like it could have been so much more dramatic, or I don't know.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
done a lot more with it.
And I feel like it took them too long to get to that point. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I mean, I like the storylines of the girls. Like, you know, one is like so into it, you know, that she's suicidal if she can't live up to it.
Yeah.
One is, you know, fighting against it. One is like trying, you know, like I feel like that's like a good variety as far as the girls' experiences.
Mm-hmm.
But then, and it could have been like so kick-ass at the end, but it just was kind of
It ran out of
lacking.
time. It just ran out of time.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll say 3.
We kind of never got back to the boys that were coming to meet up with them.
Oh, that's right. They were the ones who told on them for kissing.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Because they were really working for the fathers. Like, they were basically being instructed to try to sleep with these girls, because it's fine if boys do, but just...
They even say that, too. They're like, it's fine that guys do this.
Oh my gosh,
Guys do this all the time.
Because they asked at the one point, are these husbands also saving themselves for marriage? And they were like, oh, it's much harder for young men to remain pure. And then one of the men says, young men don't need to be monitored the same way as young women. They're not as easily fooled.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Well, we'll find out in Teeth that yes, they are. Okay, so I said I was done with politics, but I'm not. This movie is the Democratic Party of movies. It addresses that there's a problem. It sees there's a problem. It points it out. And then it's like, all right, we're done here. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't give you the oomph that you really want. I wanted like 30 minutes of these women, like...
beating the ass.
Not just beating ass, but like becoming...
Powerful.
Right. Yeah, I wanted them to like really... All that really happens is this goddess comes, kills a bunch of assholes, and they leave, and the other women still, who knows what's going to happen to any of them. I don't know if, maybe some of them were like, uh-oh, we better just do what this lady says and get out of here. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I was wondering what is going to happen to them, and are they going to be accused of killing all the dads, or like...
To which I would just kill more cops with the witch.
Yeah.
Because they're part of this too. The patriarchy runs throughout the entire system, and I want them all to take it all the fuck down, and instead they just kill some assholes. So, I'm glad it brought this up. But I feel like the people who would watch this already knew this kind of thing existed, so pointing it out is kind of, yeah, we know.
Oh, but if you would like to learn more about purity culture, check out Fundy Fridays.
There you go.
It's one of the best YouTube channels.
I'm glad you plugged that.
Ever. Fundy Fridays. They're amazing. A new episode comes out almost every Friday.
Yeah, that's a good show. I hope somebody watches this movie with a lot of money or a lot of clout or something, preferably a woman, and redoes this.
Say, I can do it better.
Right.
Do a 2-hour movie. Do an hour of this background stuff and an hour of Lilith just seizing the fucking day, man. I agree with you. I'm giving it a 3.
Ooh.
I was thinking a 3 as well, like from the beginning. So yeah, here we have a
social water bottle.
Yeah, I mean, I did like the concept. I just feel like it definitely should have been done a little bit better there, and the acting really wasn't bad. I mean, from most of them anyway. Especially like I feel like I don't remember what Shay's name is in real life, but I don't think she's an incredibly experienced actress, you know? So she did a pretty good job.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I liked Lilith, but I mean, I wish they would have done more with that.
Want more Lilith, yeah.
Definitely.
I agree.
But yeah, those dads were very, very creepy, and it's interesting how, like, you know, you would think the horror part would be Lilith, but really, she's not. Like, the horror part is like the horrible, creepy purity culture. And
it's almost like this didn't need to be a horror movie.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't have to be, and when they realized that that's what it was going to be part of, they just stuck these jump scares in that were just not necessary at all. So... I don't know. I would say I recommend it, but I don't. There's got to be better. There's got to be better.
I'm kind of glad I watched it once. You know, I'm not gonna like want to go back to it probably.
No.
But
one time, but I'm not gonna go to people and be like, "Have you seen Pure? You need to see it."
No, do this again, Hollywood. If you hear us by accident
Try
somehow, do it again.
Did you look up any of the mythology with Lilith? Because there's so many different stories. Like, some people think she was like a succubus too. There's like thoughts like she was the first vampire. There's weird different Lilith mythology things.
No, but I'd be interested in learning about that.
Yeah, same. Probably better than this movie, learning about this Lilith. Alright, if you want to get a hold of us, facebook.com/justanotherhorrorpodcast. We are on, or you can email the show at justahorrorpodcast@gmail.com. We are on YouTube, Podbean, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.
Instagram is just a horror pod.
Twitter is just horror pod. Thank you for always mouthing the words for me.
Does anybody ever make it this far? If you do, thanks. Rate, subscribe.
Yay.
Or we gonna sue your balls to the wall.
Oh, thrill me.